Hello, welcome to the second video of the series on Family Constellation. And in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the primary themes of Family Constellation. And the theme is inclusion or inclusivity. So, what do we mean by inclusion? It only means that when we bring an element which is outside of a system into the system, that is inclusion in its purest form. But what do we mean inclusivity when it comes to family? It means that my mother, my father, my daughter, my son, my grandmother, my grandfather, all of us, when we remain in one field together, connected, without any of us going through any experience which might lead one of us to go out of the family field, that means inclusion, right? So, what is the opposite of inclusion? That is exclusion. How does exclusion happen in a family? Now, the one of the primary persons who worked on Family Constellation and the founder of Family Constellation, Bert Hellinger, showed that how inclusion is one of the most important primary factors guiding as well as deciding how a family is going to be like, what its internal dynamics are going to be like. And he said that any person in the family, if one of them goes through any form of exclusion, what are the different kinds of exclusion? For example, this person is either goes through a trauma because of which they have to lose the family, someone who could be murdered because of which they may die at a young age and may not be a part of the family, someone who goes through an abortion, for example, or say someone who was not included as a part of the family because they went through something shameful. For example, they did not marry according to the family's wishes, or say, for example, because of their sexuality or orientation, they were harassed and put out of the family. These are the different kind of exclusions. And what happens, the family field, as I had talked about in my earlier videos, that how the entire family has a field of its own, has an unconscious pool of its own. And this pool, this field, tries to balance out this exclusion in the form of its reenactment, which means that any other member in the family later on in subsequent generation may show experiences or may reenact the trauma or may show exact or similar fates that this ancestor who was or who felt excluded went through. One of the examples could be if someone went through a trauma where they had to lose a family because of war, someone else later in the family, even if the war is over, in their second generation or in their third generation, may show similar symptoms of feeling neglected, ignored, not being loved, not feeling connected. Even if family is around, they may keep on feeling as if they are not together with the family, as if they are disconnected and lost. So I have seen in a lot of my experience where people with histories of the partition who have come down here, uh, wherever their ancestors have gone through experiences of the partition where they felt disconnected from the family, there were war situations where they could not be with the family, there were riots where they lost, family members. One or the other in their second generation or third generation may show similar symptoms of feeling disconnected, not feeling committed to their partners, or may feel as if they are neglected, not loved, and even could represent to it different forms of nightmares where they feel as if they are being separated from their loved ones. Why does this reenactment happen? This reenactment happened because the family field or the family unconscious is trying to balance the whole system, which means that if someone went through that experience earlier in the ancestry, someone else later in the ancestry will also go through it in order to balance itself. And this happens unconsciously. It doesn't happen consciously. It is always an unconscious process, and it is always the family field or the family unconscious which is doing that. Now, family constellation is one of the ways by which we can harmonize the whole system. Whatever and whoever was excluded whatever trauma we were not aware of, and whatever exclusion happened earlier in the generation, we try to bring a situation of harmony by including that inside, by bringing the element in. And then we try to look at the whole picture from a perspective where if this one is included, then maybe I don't have to go through it, because whatever I am experiencing as feelings of neglect, trauma, ignorance, as well as feeling unloved, all of this could not be mine to begin with. There is a moment of identification of it with someone else, as well as there is a moment of distinction that it's not mine. It can be left because of so and so went through this experience of trauma. Therefore, they felt the way they felt. And the moment we become aware as the client, the moment we become aware that all of our problems, and most of it may not be ours to begin with, and it may not be something that only we have gone through. Someone else have also gone through it. And at that moment, there is this moment of relief. We feel as if I am not the sole career of it. I don't have to carry it all my life, because it may not belong to me, it may not begin with me. And that's what Family Constellation does. It brings a situation of harmony. It brings a feeling of peace and balance in the whole system, as well as in the client's life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to come back again with the next theme. Till then, keep tuned. Thank you.